good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Fresno, and today we do on with our Mage arena run. So we haven't been having the best of times with this deck, and the last one really kind of put a bit of the nail in the coffin for me, where it's just like certain games are just completely unwinnable, no matter how hard you try. But you know, it is what it is. So anyway, let's just jump to the next one.
Jaina versus Illidan.
Demons never expect me.
You asked for it.
We toss that. Probably keep that. I'll keep the Molten Room again for the same reason that I kind of need some early game. Not a very good start this time. But nah, it's one of the things that with Hearthstone, I think it can be very difficult to kind of continue playing, especially when you get lost like I had in the last one, where it's like you couldn't really do anything. Your opponent just had every answer required to try and beat you.
It's your time now.
Okay, that's a decent turn 5 play though. The good news is they kind of wasted some damage and a fast answer really, so just deal 2 damage to draw a card. But yeah, my game plan with this deck is to kind of try and win early game, and then and control the board mid game, and then basically burst them down with damage. So I need like good tempo plays most of the time. The good news for me at the moment is they're kind of just wasting some of their resources. I don't have any elementals just yet, but I'll play this. Nah, not bad 3-drop. I forget, at one point this was a 4-drop and it confused me there. I mean, speaking of that used to being a 4-drop, there is kind of a I really should just fireball that, shouldn't I? Yeah. Didn't want to do that, but I had no choice. So, speaking of this being a 4-drop, now this might be a controversial take, or it might be like spot on, but online card games in general have this knack for rebalancing things, which means that in the idea of designing cards, they don't have to take much into account when designing them. Yeah? This is kind of both a good and a bad thing, and the reason kind of why I say this is, one, it allows us to keep like old cards that existed more relevant, and that means that you can still have fun with those cards, you can do everything else. The bad thing is kind of like I said with this one, it means they can just repair mistakes they've already made in the past because of a card they want to create in the future, which is really, really bad. Like, okay. I was gonna get like an 8/8 or something like that anyway.
Amazing.
I guess we just win. I didn't think we'd get that far. Man, that was a real short one. I guess we'll probably just jump into the game. Why not? We'll give you a 2 for 1.
Jaina versus
Okay.
Jaina.
Mirror matchup. Let's go.
You asked for it. Oh, It is on.
So yeah, I mean, I was saying that that it kind of makes an issue with balance as such. We'll toss that as well, actually. And the reason why I think it's like, well, I think it's really bad, and I just think in general it's not a very good idea, is the fact that, yeah, it means you don't have to put as much thought in what you might create in the future as what you're creating now. So it's this kind of attitude that whatever happens, we can just fix it in post, or we can release a patch, we can make an update. It's this all, just get it out the door and we can solve the problem later. Yeah?
I lead from the front.
Honorable kill. I gotta make that trade. I can't give him Divine Shield with 3-drop. It would hurt me way too much.
Running relaxation protocol.
That's good enough to play. And that sort of mentality has been like it for a long time with gaming. Ever since the internet became a thing, and online gaming, online access, and everything else took off, and people realized that they could just like patch something later. One mucked up the quality of games that we now have. No point playing. Actually, is there? Both is and isn't. Cool.
I can't do that.
So 6 damage. It is good burst. But yeah, and that's kind of like the sort of slight annoyance. What does that do?
You don't break the walls.
I got no choice but to allow that to go off.
Is someone there? No, nobody there.
And hopefully I can get like fireballs and stuff like that, because I'm going to start losing the game. There we go. That was a good draw. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Really? This is the stuff I have to deal with. But yeah, and because of this sort of issue that this ended up happening is just means that, yeah, like power creep is even worse than what it could be in like an actual card game, like a physical one as well. Like, yeah, power creep happens, new mechanics happen, everything else is still exactly the same, but unless a card gets an errata or basically a rewrite, nothing else changes. And we'll trade this away. It's just that sort of it's always a minion, right? Yeah. Another one.
Magic and magma go hand in hand.
We're not having a great time.
Are you not entertained? This is not what we stood for.
Just give them everything. Why not? Just give the man everything they need. But yeah, I mean, and this is kind of like why I think Hearthstone and other card games are kind of like can do these sort of changes become a bit of a problem, because there's no consequences of them printing a card that's either underpowered or overpowered. Yeah. And we've seen it so many times already. Really? But yeah, we've seen it in so many places already where this has become an issue in the past with like Hearthstone releases, where a broken combo comes out and they end up banning the card from a format, or they'll nerf cards because of the combination is just like way too overpowered. Like, WTF? The moment I knew the blizzard came down is the moment I knew I lost this game. But my god, have I been really unlucky with this as well.
Who is next on the chopping block?
I'm gonna do something fun next turn if I survive, so let's try it out. But this is what I mean, like I didn't have enough tempo early game, so with the blizzard I lost another removal card.
You fight me, you get burned. Turn it up.
And they've created so much value I can't compete with it.
Magic and magma go hand in hand.
Let's see what happens here. I can play a 2-drop.
Frost bites sharper than
And I can't even play the one I wanted. This is what I mean when I say I got unlucky and there was no chance of me winning.
amazing.
Man is being rude here, like, yeah, and a massive taunt I couldn't get through as well if that had killed that. Like, oh god. But yeah, balancing them becomes like a massive, like a non-issue for them developing stuff in some cases. Like they'll still think about it, but there's not as much thought that needs to go into it in comparison to most of the places, because yeah, we can just edit it later. We can always do it after the fact, and it's a really bad mentality to be in. To think, oh yeah, we can just change it later. And kind of like when I say that, like, imagine you've been employed by a company to do some work for them, and you do that work, but it doesn't work, and then 2 months later you go, ah, but don't worry, we'll update that for you. Do you think you're going to get paid? Some nice, interesting new cards there. But yeah, that's kind of like why it can be really frustrating, especially with the way stuff can be. But anyway, that's the end of that run. I mean, we lost it in spectacular fashion, as always. But again, if you do enjoy the video, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.